Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning, petals. Bless this space, bless this time, bless these actions, bless this cat, bless this day, bless this soul, bless this self, bless these people. Take a moment just to bless what you're about to do so that we're plugged into something a little bit bigger than ourselves. And since we have this going on, we'll start standing. We'll need have a strap, potentially have 2 blocks. So in this second week of regroup, we're up in the chest, up in the shoulders, building some fire, some stability in the shoulder girdle. The heart is related to the intersection of the low body and the upper body. The shoulders relating to the throat, the ability to speak, the ability to hear. And so let's just start from there and start by swinging your feet. Always we start in the ground. Always we start in the ground, standing, swinging your feet. And as you swing your feet, shake out your hands. You are coming undone. That which you brought here, that which brought you here is no longer necessary. And to hold it further would keep you from what already is here. So we move it out. And the swing gets a little larger. And you set your gaze on one fixed point. And with each swing of the heel, it's an exhalation. And as you step wide, it's an inhalation. And you're moving, allowing the body to change. The hips, the chest, the spine. Letting the ribs turn. And then let's organize a little bit, hands to hips. Gaze on that one point and get very steady for 30 seconds. Five. So this repetition starts to overwrite wherever your mind had been skipping to. 4. 3. So you begin to become consistent and steady. 2 and 1. Good. Let it go. Shake it out. Shake your hands. Tap your heels. Wag your tail. And then the hands coming high, elbow to knee. And repeat. So we're just going to do some standing moves here to use the legs to relate to the upper body, to use repetition, to generate heat, and to organize the body, organize the breath, organize the thinking. There's nothing else asked of you. 3, 2, change sides. We start to come up against our boredom. What happens when we get breathless? What happens when we get fatigued? We just settle in. We settle under our reactions. We become far more neutral, and it's the neutral that really is the anchor through everything else. 2, 1, open, close. And you're just crossing. And you can feel how you're allowing the spine open, close. And can you let the fingers wash? So that the arms change and gather in and out. Can you bring your elbows towards you, your palms facing you, and then your palms turning away? Become a little more precise in your hands. And get a little deeper in the legs. 5, tail drives back. Knees stay over your heels as you can, making the simplest of repetitions. 2, 1, wag it out. So as you bring your feet together, wag your tail, lightly step. So this little movement can be so small, right? So as my right foot steps, my right hand drops. And I'm just starting to let the movement get a little bit bigger and reaching around like I'm stirring inside a great pot. Now that can be up to you. How big do you want to reach through the arm, through the heel? Just for 5, 4, so that you start to feel the upper back get a bit wider. The stance opens up. Good. And keeping the legs, take the hands over the top, over the top. So that you start to open from the shoulder to the hip, to the heel, reaching out. For 3 and 2. Keep the legs and bring your hands back down. And there just starts to be a little space, a little clearing through the backs of your lungs, the backs of the triceps, the points of your elbows. 4, 3, 2, 1, and we become a little more graceful. Wag your tail. So we'll take our feet side by side. And as your right foot steps back, your right hand comes out, your left hand goes back, and then you're back at the front. Your left hand steps back and your left hand reaches out, and you're back at the front. And so you open and close, open and close. Inhale. Notice your chest, and that the chest lifts. And that the chest lifts because your feet press down. And as you reach, draw your hands apart. Our last week in Regroup here, we really built a foundation. So can you stand in your feet in a way that starts to let your chest come up? I'm reaching and returning. And now we're going to alternate, and I'll face you so that we can go front and back. 3, 4, and side to side. 3, 4, front, back. 1, 2, 3, left, right. 1, 2, 3, front, back, go. 2, 3, 4, sides. 1, 2, 3, front, back, last set. 1, 2, 3, 4, left, right, go. 2, 3, 4. Turn forward, notice. And we will bring it into our sun salutes. But this, we've made it from the hips to the feet. We're standing, hug the heels, navel is strong. We're using the legs to generate more circulation and more amplification of heart space. Widen your feet. And take your hands down the backs of your legs and smooth out the skin of the backs of the legs. And bend one knee and bend the other, moving a little bit side to side, lifting the hips, lengthen the toes. Bend your knees, slide your hands back up and wide. Right hand down, left hand over, stay. Plug into your left heel. Widen, bend your right knee, left hand down. Pause. And bring it up. And hands down the backs of your legs, folding. All the way out, little wag of the tail, hips wide. Roll up, hands widen. Left hand down, right hand over. Plug into your right heel. And then widen. Bend your left knee. Bring your right hand down. Widen out, inhaling, opening, and then exhaling down the backs of the legs. Folding. Inhaling back up. Widening. Right hand down, left over. And then take that long left side wide, bend your right knee and down to the ground. Left side long, turning. Bring it open. Down the backs of the legs again. Lengthening down the back of the spine. Back up, hands wide. Left hand down, right over. Plug into your right heel, widen the right side and wrap it across to the left. And then stand wide. Bend your right knee, left hand to shin. And open. Bend your left knee, right hand to left. And open. And we go. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In. Use your legs. Your hips go back. And then they come forward as you unfold. And it's though the movement of your hips is moving your chest. If you have more space, you can bring your fingertips to the floor, outside the little toe. If you have the space, a little less of a bend. Be aware. 10, 9, build that neutrality. 2, and 1. Step to the top of the mat, spin the thumbs away, the heels in, the palms forward. The heels plug down and hug in, and the energy zips up. And we'll take our time slowly, hands up high. Widen, wriggle, drop your tailbone, lift the back of your neck, and then soften your knees as you fold your hands down the backs of your legs. We're going to lift halfway. Come up to the backs of the thighs, plug into the heels, spine long, and fold down 3. Rise up. Legs strong, body warm, fold down 2. Smooth down the backs of the legs as you smooth the fabric of your pants Smooth the fabric of these muscles down, down. Hello, body. Left foot will step back. Front knee will come forward. Find the lunge before you put the knee to the floor. And putting a block underneath your left hand, turn your right toes out to the right, bending your right knee wide. So now there's space for the pelvis and the right hand coming up high. Shift your hips back, reach back, and then scoop forward. Reach back, shift back, and then scoop forward. Getting a little deeper into the body, bending the knee, opening through the pelvis, too. Letting our warm-up get larger and becoming more permeable. Take your right hand back, spread the palm. And then as you reach it forward, hips go back, lift your toes, pause. Right hand high, right foot flat, pull open. And then right hand forward, hips back, tuck your chin. One more. Right hand back, open, close your right fist. 3. So what we're interested in this second week is from the ground. Can we use the ground of our body to open the heart? Hand high. And then right hand down and step back and find your first dog. Right hand extends, right hip leaves high. And widen your feet, soften your knees, and wag your tail. And the left foot steps up, and the right foot follows. And you sweep wide and you stand up. Left hand holds your right wrist. Go up, go left. Little shimmy. Up and open. Up and open. Little tap of the heels. Rock onto the tiptoes. Rock onto the heels. And then sweep wide and settle down. Down the backs of your legs. Smooth it out. Step your right foot back. And find your lunge. Put your knee to the floor. And bring the block to the right side. And turn your left toes out. Walk it out if you need more space, so that the hips and pelvis feel broad. Left hand comes high. Reaching back, shift your weight back, lift your toes back, and then scoop forward, sweep forward. And take your time. So that you're moving in and out of that hip crease, coming up and out of the pelvis. Opening the left side chest. Now as you take the left hand, keep the left knee bent and reach back. Reach forward, hips shift back, toes draw up. Tuck of the chin, pause. And then bending the knee, toe turns out, arm opens, thumb rotates. And again, exhale. Inhale. And again, drawing your left hand away from your left hip. Keep that length, lift it up, draw it back. Left knee bent, open, close your left fist. And all the connective tissue of the left hand translates to the left forearm, to the left upper arm, to the space of the left side chest, even into the left side of the pericardium and the heart itself. Left hand high. And draw the hands apart and soften the collarbones. And left hand down. Stepping your left knee back, find your dog, and lift your knees. Wag your tail. 10, 9, 8. Lift your heels, drop your head. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, if your knees are tender, if your floor is hard, then pad your knees with a blanket or so. Knees down. Bring your feet together, bring your knees together, draw your hips back, and your hands a little further forward. Coming forward and a little bend. Navel to spine, child. A little bend. 9, 8. Hug your knees, flatten your feet. Hug your heels, hug your knees. The bend of the arms could be more, but you don't go all the way to where you could. 5. You become very light, put more weight in your knees. Become light in your hands. 3, 2, letting your arms just rock forward, rock back, pause, come onto your fingertips. The arms are long, the chest is broad. A little shake, little wag of the tail. Palms flat, heart high, tuck your toes down, dog. Walk your feet together and raise your right heel high. Bend both knees, bend both elbows and press legs straight, arms straight. Bend your knees, bend your elbows, wrap them in, press arms straight, legs straight. That strength you just woke in the arms, this is what it's for. Extending from the heart, grounding into the floor. The right knee in the sky goes soft. Right foot steps up. Warrior 2, take your left foot back. Heel down, left hand back. And let's reverse out. Straighten the front leg, wag the tail, open the chest. And then arms wide. Elbow to thigh, over the top. Arms wide, reversing. Straighten the front leg, up and out. Warrior 2, land. Elbow to thigh. Good. Stay. 3. So left heel down, right knee forward. 2. Reaching out. Warrior 2, turn your palms to the sky and straighten your front leg, palms to touch. Hug the thighs and hands open wide. Bend the knee. 3. Reach up. Plug into that front foot and then open the chest. 2. And rise up. Roll your thumbs to point back. Roll the pinky edge up. And now a little straighten, draw your left hand back. And a little bend, draw your right hand forward. Without using your legs, a little forward, a little back, a little back, a little forward. Now draw the hands apart, shoulders down. Feel the chest. Turn the palms down. Open, close your hands. Feel the chest and to the floor. To the knees down, to the chest down. Walk your thighs back and a little wide peel. And rock down. 3. And roll open. And 2. And roll open. And the next time that you roll up, look to the left and drop your right hip. Good. Child's pose, knees wide, toes together. You may stay. Or rock forward and rock back, your choice. Rocking and back. So we're rolling the chest open and rounding into the tail. 2 more. Roll open, roll back. Once again. Roll open, roll back. We all meet there to tuck toes, to down dog, to hips high, feet together, left foot rising. Open. Plug into the hands. Bend your knees, bend your elbows wide, and then wrap them in and press. rooting into the arms, anchoring, rooting your heart. Bend your elbows, bend your knees, plug in. When we waver, when we question, I don't know if I can, I really don't know if I can, that's what this action's for. Bend your elbows, bend your knees, plug into the floor. Yes, this is what I can do. Feel it. The heart needs grounding. Step up. Sweep wide. And now let's clear it out. Chest broad. Reverse. Rising. And down. So these are the sides of the body. Here's my right shoulder to my right hip, my right ribs, and then sweep wide. And as you reverse up, you open the left hip. Wag the tail, you open the left shoulder. The ribs, the intercostals, warrior two. So left equals right. Now left elbow. Firm the back leg, build the base. And then reach out, little wag. Open it, and then side to side. So here's our warrior two. Keep the legs and stay for a beat, opening the right side, because the right side will be the back side. And the back side will tend to collapse. So keep that. Now reach back, just as we did on the floor. Palms, thumbs turn back, palms turn open. Navel to body. So right side equals left. Straighten the front leg, bring the palms together. Keeping the palms up, open wide without losing the right side of your ribs. In and up, and widen down. Stay so tall. Rise up, get tall, and then bend your knee without getting any shorter. And then turn your palms down, open, close your hands, and feel from palm to palm through the heart. Bring it down. And step back, high plank, to the floor. Widen your feet, peel open, and then roll down and roll open. Getting weight redistributed through the front of the hips, across the pelvis, reestablishing symmetry. Look to the right and drop your left hip. Open the left side waist. Explore. Knees wide, toes together. Child. Wag of the tail. Wag of the tail. Just going to have this little hot moment of a little more strength in the shoulders. If it's not right for you, keep your knees on the floor, tuck your toes. And so we'll start modified so everybody knows where to go. Right toes out, tap the floor. So navel comes into spine. Bend your right knee, knee taps the floor. Tap the floor, tap the knee. You're moving from the navel. 2, tap, 1. Change sides. Left toe taps, left knee taps. Draw the navel to the body and move less from the hip and more from the very center, from the core. So that's option 1. Or hover your knees, just 2-3 inches. Tap, 5. Tap, 4. Plug into your hands, into the base of your thumbs, and plug into the chest and all the ways that this activates the heart. Left tap and tap out. Ha! So I'm getting the fire in my navel and I'm lighting up my heart. One more tap. So good. Down dog. And take that light and plug it in. Knees soft, hips high. Go 3. Wag tail. Go 2. Knees down. I'll spin so you can see. Widening your hands. Come onto your palms. Turn the fingers away. One shoulder, the other shoulder. My knees are wide. And now I'm opening through the chest. I'm turning my chin from shoulder to shoulder. I'm spinning through the spine, my navel to spine. Widening your hands. Bend one elbow and maybe shoulder toward the floor. 10, 9, No force. Be very kind here. This is a very deep, constantly contracted space from the sternum to the palm gets gathered in, and yet it's also an essential aspect of our reception to clear it out. 2, 1. Bring your hands back together and find your dog and feel the line from the palm to the thumb to the elbows to the heart. Plug in a little further, bend your knees, lift your heels. Out the jaw, out the tongue, hands and knees. And bring yourself all the way down onto the right side of your mat. And put your left hand wide to the left, straight out of the shoulder. Right palm down. As you drop your left ribs, bend your knees. And drop the left side of your head. So your right knee can rise. And I'm getting over a real chest infection. And the depth of this work and the depth of this twist in particular. I can feel how constricted and scratchy my breath feels. So I relax my left hand. I relax my left shoulder to encourage my left side ribs and lung. I let my right knee fall open. And I tent my right fingertips. So there's just this little lift into the palm. My right elbow is over my right wrist. Whew. Belly down, go to the left side. Right hand wide, right palm down, aligned with my shoulder. Bend your knees, roll to the right ribs, right hip. Lift your left knee and drop the right side of your head. Make any adjustments you need. Relax your head. You soften your right shoulder. Soften your breathing further down into the body. Any pain in the low back, then walk your left foot a little further away from your right knee. That'll give you a little stability. Bring it back. Bring your belly down. Put your palms flat down, one on the other, and your forehead down, and let your hips wash side to side. Let the elbows walk forward. Loosening through the low back, the sides of the spine. Walk the elbows forward. And as you rise up, I'm going to set a block between your heels so that you could kneel. In the cold, as the fall turns to winter, just the whole front body can become quite small, quite limited. In this, right hand, right palm, left hand, and then left hand, left palm, right hand to rise. And be so graceful. You have done deep, deep work in the body. Our third week will be all about twists. That as we stand in the first week, and then we lift the heart in the second week, you can feel that we could then take the right hand in front of the left thigh. Left hand goes behind you, revolving. The left hand crosses the right hand behind you, the palm against the low back, the fingers point down. It's not about trying to go more. It's a little front to back, and it's encouraging my chin towards my right shoulder and my left side neck and spine. My right elbow opens my right chest. And I come back into center. And as I turn, I also make length. Right hand drops back, left hand to lift and lift the hips. Maybe it goes a little, and then the left hand comes down and the right hand goes up. In and up. 10. And sit it down, hands on thighs, noticing we're elevating the frequency of the body. The chest is bright, the front, the back, the left, the right. And come up onto your knees, pad your knees if you need it. Hands at your hips, but spin the fingers back and the fingers point down so that the hips can come forward. Right? We just built this shape, sending the hips forward. It's very tempting to make this. So I want you to soften your chest and let your hips come a little forward and a little back, so that when you have your hips long, you can lift your chest and tuck your chin. In and up, out and down. That third Tibetan. So simple, but it opens the whole front body, the whole back body. Now you can keep it right there, stabilize, or take your hands down to where your hamstrings meet your glutes. Let it move. 10. 9. Do no harm. 8. 7. 6. 5. Last time. Sit your hips to your heels, hands to your thighs, and notice. Encouraging an expansion, and simultaneously, this is safe. This is safe. This is still me. This expansion is still me. Many times we can feel this sort of new heady space and be, oh, this is scary, or this is dizzy, or this is vertigo, and I really shouldn't be doing this at all. And you're steady, and you're safe, and you're expanding, and you're recalibrating what is safety, what is expansion, what am I capable of. Come to lie on your back, last place, and then we'll do our breath. just to really release the spine. We did a good deal through the front of the spine, which can be tender. Shake out your feet, your knees are wide. Shake out your knees, shake out your feet, your knees are close. Shake out your feet, your knees are wide. Your knees are forward. Shake out your feet, your knees are back towards your shoulders. Your knees are forward, your knees are close. Your knees are close to your chest. Your knees are wide towards your shoulders. Your knees are forward. Excellent. And put your feet flat, lift your hips and shift them left. Lift your feet and drop your knees to the right. Now, if you have tender low back, you'll take your block and put it to the right side to catch and support. You can also put it under the sides of the calves and then widen. And having that little support sometimes allows everything to trust. So we start by relaxing the legs and letting the inner thighs be heavy. And this zips the navel back. And then the navel turns to the left side waist. And the spine gets a little longer. The left elbow bends. So you've made a bit of a cactus, a field goal. And the energy of the left side body is invited to expand. Soften the left hip. Breathe into the left side, abdomen and low back. Breathe into the left side, ribs. And drop the left side shoulder. Left side throat. Soften the left side body. As it softens, it opens. And you put your feet flat and your arms wide and your hips neutral. And you just notice the expansion of the left side. Expansion doesn't need to be racy or dramatic or overwhelming. It means there's more access. Hips up and over to the right. Put your block on the left side, just below the hips, so that when you draw your knees up and drop them over, the block is lengthwise along the outer edge of your left shin. Left hand on the right thigh, right arm wide. And let the body become heavy, passive, but awake. Let your right knee be heavy as your eyes close. And the heaviness of your knees, a little more turn, knees down. Right hip is heavy. Right inner thigh is soft. Left hand is helping. And the breath down into the left side of the pelvis, left side abdomen, left side low back. There's an inflation on the inhale. And on the exhale, navel to spine, belly button turning to the right. Right elbow may bend and rise. Make space. You are opening, you are unfurling as though you had wings. Breath into the right side rib. Right side shoulder is heavy. The right throat opens. Softening on the exhalation, softening, 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 opening the right side body. Put your feet flat. Let your hips come to neutral. Put your hands down. Notice. This neutrality is our superpower. Imagine that as we amplify ourselves, as we expand in the breath of light, that we are expanding this neutrality. That the more neutrality I have, the more joy I can handle. The bigger the circuit breakers that I have, bring it in. And roll up. And we will set up for our breath of life. So if I have a signpost and it's very shallow and there's a wind, it'll tip over. But if I dig a deep hole and I put that signpost deep in the ground, then when a wind comes, the signpost is steady. So we're using this regroup sequence to just steady ourselves so that we can show more of who we are. Without falling over, without drama or disaster. Palms almost touch. Find a pulse, find a pulse, find a pulse, find a pulse. All of this turning, you must forgive me. You know what to do. I'm going to blow my nose, then I'm going to come back. So set it up. Find the pulse, and then sipping in through the mouth 5 times, out through the nose 5 times. Navel to spine. Send your anchor down. And from there, soften your shoulders, your face, and your attitude. Now we grow. My mistake. And play with your expansion, that it's safe. And if it's safe, you can go. 30 seconds. One more round. Hands up, inhale. Little cups, 3 more sips. Tuck your chin. Lift your heart. Hug in at the pelvic floor and up and up. A little shimmy. There's no tension, but you're drawing up. And you're loose on the outside and rising on the inside. Hug your little cups in your hands. And then lift your chin and breathing out. Thumb and first fingertips to touch the circuit. I am this. Aware of a sensation of expansion and freedom. It's still you. Take your time and recalibrate. This is safe. You are welcome at this size, at this frequency, with this luminosity streaming from you. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. I signal to myself, this is safe. Breath in, calm. Breath out, smile. Longer if you choose, or with a smile, sweep wide. Palms together. We'll do it again with 2 ohms. Inhale up. A in the belly, U in the chest, M in the head. With a smile. Om Shanti Shanti, peace, peace, perfect peace. Namaste.